Hi, everyone. This is Nasia
And Kristen,
from Les Maisons Partners, and it is a beautiful evening now today. And this is our segment called
isn't it
Coffee
beautiful
Talk.
evening?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. So, what we are going to talk about today are nail houses. And of course, somebody's going to ask me, what are nail houses?
Like
And
I asked you.
exactly, like you asked me. And I thought this was completely interesting because I stumbled on it while I was reading an article. And there are houses, and officially the word nail houses came from houses that were in China, excuse me, which were built and they had been in the neighborhood. And then everything around them had sold, everything around them had been torn down to make room for, say, a development, an office park, a plaza, mall, something, some kind of commercial space. And there was one person who held out and refused to go. So they started calling them nail houses. Now, they're not just in China. However, they are most well known as nail houses in China. And it got me thinking. I thought, let's just talk about this. Um, Kind of where do you draw the line? Because I think to myself, wow, these folks who are living in these nail houses, they are incredibly independent. They will not give up. They got a real spirit and a fire to them. And on the other hand, I was also thinking, I don't know that I want freeway traffic going in front of my window.
Yeah, how do you get to your house? Some of them, like, we're going to show you some pictures. I
Yes.
can't
I'm
remember if I
gonna
have
definitely
the
show the
highway
pictures.
one, but, like, oh my good grief. It's
Yes. When you see
bananas.
the pictures, it kind of really drives home the point that these nail houses are really solo homes, and they are in the middle of what I would consider very challenging environments because you're mostly in a commercial space. And so, oh, yes, this is the one. That road that leads to that house, first of all, they carved out all everything below them because they were going to put in, and I can't remember if it was a freeway. I believe it was a freeway. And do you see how it's sitting precariously, in my opinion, on that small amount of dirt? And we're talking about a house. I mean, that's not a small house either.
And it's pretty high. And it looks like the
Right.
front looks like what used to be a garage.
Hmm.
Um,
Where do you park? Can you ever have people over? And then you get into, where do you have issues with getting electricity, sewer? I mean, what? I have so many questions. I really, really do. Kristen, why don't we look at the second? Okay, this is the
See, I'm
one.
on it.
Right. This is the one. This is a really large house, and it literally is in the middle of a road. They have taken out all the houses around them, and they've made this into a road. So there's nothing around it. There's no green space, nothing. And it still amazes me how these houses, one, are still standing, and then the other one is, I have so many questions about utilities and
Well, I don't think anyone's living here. It looks like it's um vacant, but I feel like for in order for them not to like come and tear it down, like someone still has to be there. So,
well, in some of the stories that I read, there were people still living there.
oh
The one
gosh.
that's near the mall,
Hmm.
that one, I think you have a picture of that one too. That one, somebody's still living there. And so you literally are in a
Okay,
space
yeah.
right there.
Here you
That's
go.
what it is. That to me is amazing. So people are walking by their taxis. Clearly, there's nowhere really for you to park, I don't think. And then how do you even keep any kind of privacy in that particular circumstance? I
And
don't
that one
know.
is much smaller than all the rest that we've kind of seen.
But in the end, you also think to yourself, well, they're right there, right
Yeah.
near the shopping place. Is there any way that if they decided to keep it? Could they capitalize on it some way?
I mean, I would want to live my house to be smack dab in the middle of like Perimeter Mall. Like that would be great for me. Like I
What
personally.
about other people passing by and looking at you?
I mean, I would get like blackout curtains. Like I would
Wow.
I'd make it happen. I would make it happen. That would be extraordinary. Just walk over. Cause like right now, I'm like, I need some new foundation. Just walk over
Right.
to Sephora, head back home. Like, hey guys, let's meet up at the Cheesecake Factory. Let's do it.
I think of myself as a person of principle, and I wouldn't want to just sell, because people sell for different reasons, obviously.
Right.
And when you have something like eminent domain, or you have an edict from your county, your government, and they say that you do have to move, there are those who say, no, I won't move. I think I remember, I know that in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, they did have an instance where a woman kept her property between casinos. And so it's not unheard of, but I guess we all want to know, where is our line? Where would you draw the line? Do you think that if they came to you, obviously nobody is going to think they're going to get the full value of their home if somebody's trying to take over for it. But at what point do we kind of say, well, is this worth it? Or do we say, no, I'm going to keep going until everybody around me is sold and I'm the only one? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know what to tell you.
I think it all depends on your propensity and your level of how secure do you feel. If you were kind of that lone person, would you want to be part of a neighborhood? Is it safe? And when I say safe, I mean, if you're on a freeway, I can't, how do they avoid you?
And the one that's very delicately, balancing on that huge mound of dirt, like seriously, like that
That would
seems
scare
very
me. That would
dangerous.
really scare me. And
I have
I
anxiety just looking at the picture.
that
Riddling
really
anxiety.
scares me. That really
Yeah.
scares me. But I think sometimes people feel like they may not have a choice if they're, especially if they're in a neighborhood that is part of a city, and you know how expensive it is to live in that particular city, where places go at a premium, and you have a fairly large place, you may decide that it's all worth it.
Yeah.
I think I could probably live. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I can live in any of those places because I
I know
just
your children would, you have children, and so you
right.
would not live. I can
I
see them
can't
out on the highway
imagine.
now.
Right. I can't imagine. Why don't you go outside and, well, no, don't play outside. Just stay inside for right now. So I mean, I can't imagine. I definitely couldn't imagine the freeway. The road, I don't know. I mean, if it were a parking lot, maybe. I don't know. But the mall thing, that would bother me. I think I would probably turn it
The
into
noise. I
a,
think I see
yeah.
that being like in China being extremely noisy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and
Yeah.
especially that picture, it looks like
Cars.
there are a lot of people, and it's nonstop, really. I mean, even if the mall is closed, you still have people, pedestrians walking by. So I think I would maybe turn it into a short-term Airbnb, or even do something like almost like a tourist attraction.
Yeah, like okay, so is it I can't remember. Did you hear about the like the last blockbuster video? They've turned it into an Airbnb, like
Yes.
something like that. That would be cool. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm like really gonna, go on a tangent, but remember when like that was like a fun Friday night? Like
That's right. Right to your blockbuster. There's still Redbox, so you can still get that type of experience.
that is not the same. Going to Blockbuster when you're in like elementary school or like middle school was like an event. You might see some of your friends from school, like what movie are you getting? Like you're just like the worst thing ever, not finding the video behind the picture of the box. Like that was like, Yeah, so
or
like,
getting home and not finding it
oh gosh.
because somebody didn't check.
And that's the worst thing ever. So, or
And
having
be
someone
kind,
didn't
be kind.
rewind it, so you have to
Yep.
rewind it before you. Man, kids, like kids are watching this, but kids, you have it so good now. You have it so good. You don't even know it.
I know. So I think the nail houses topic is interesting only because even though it's not as common here in the US, I feel as if it's the spirit of that person who continues to persevere and say, no, I will not yield. And I love that. I think it's so
You would.
very admirable to have that spirit.
I could take the money and get out of town. Get out of the house.
So let us know if you would be okay with living in a nail house, if there are any parameters as to where you would live in an environment. Freeway okay, but mall not. I don't know. So let us know in the comments what your threshold, what your tolerance is.
What's your tolerance level? Oh gosh.
Because we already shared with you our tolerance. So we really hope you enjoyed our segment of Coffee Talk, and we always love talking about incredibly random conversations about random topics that we find interesting. So if you have
Real
a
estate
topic,
related.
right, and if you have a topic, please let us know, and we'll be sure to consider it. Please don't submit very
I don't know where you're going with this.
topics or something.
Real estate related.
Right,
Or
please.
Atlanta related.
Or
How
Atlanta
about that?
related.
Atlanta related.
We could talk about that, and especially if you want to talk about food.
Food?
Yes,
You say food? I like
restaurants,
food. I like
takeout,
restaurants.
delivery. We can definitely talk about food. Also, catch us on Instagram where we highlight not only real estate topics, but our favorite food. So if we go to some place that you think, wow, I really got to get there, make sure that you comment on that as well. So please make sure to catch us the next time. And this is Les Maisons Partners talking about nail houses. And thank you for joining us. Bye.
Yeah.